Now, I'm not someone that likes to come to a judgment really fast, especially when it's something as useless as the NBA preseason. However though, in the first 2 games for the Los Angeles Lakers, Russell Westbrook has not played at all what we thought he would, and like I said, yes, it is preseason, but the same problem that he had on his other teams, he's still doing with LA, and it doesn't look like it's going to change. I think it's safe to say that this LA Lakers team that has just been assembled has been called a super team, and it's been really hyped up. I mean, when you look at these things like the active scoring leaders, with 5 of them being on either the Lakers or Nets, that's crazy to me. With storylines like Carmelo Anthony getting to play with LeBron James for the first time in his career, and Russell Westbrook coming to play to LA, which he's never done in his NBA career, you would think that they're going to have a successful season off rip, right? I mean, this team on paper is destined for success. I mean, they literally named themselves 360, which if you ask me is a pretty badass name. But if we want to talk serious, back to when the Russell Westbrook trade happened, I was someone that said, listen, I thought it would be a good trade if they could dump players like Kyle Kuzma and Montrezl Harrell, but it was not the trade that they should make. At the time, I said they didn't need Russell Westbrook. What they needed was a guy like Buddy Hield, which was a trade that was about to go through, ironically, because all the Lakers needed was a little bit of shooting. They didn't need any more playmakers. They didn't need a player like Russell Westbrook, who is a ball dominant player. They needed players that were going to be able to space the floor, and Russell Westbrook has not been that guy in recent time. Now, Russell Westbrook has always been an interesting case to me. I see, like, on paper he could be arguably considered as one of the best point guards in like this, like, I guess you could say, decade. And if you were someone that did like to watch Russell Westbrook in the actual games, you would clearly see that he is somewhat not only of a stat pattern, but someone that can make, well, yeah, he's a stat pattern. And I'm not talking about points, because Russell Westbrook was gonna score points like when he was the only good player on Oklahoma City Thunder, obviously, you know, when Kevin Durant left, and on Washington, obviously there was Bradley Beal, but he was still a ball dominant player. Even on Houston, when he had James Harden, he was still a ball dominant player, which is obviously why they didn't work out, because both of them are ball dominant players. And yes, there are very many videos about Russell Westbrook like making his center's moves to get rebounds and stuff like that, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. All I'm trying to say is that Russell Westbrook on paper should be, like I said, one of the best point guards of this decade, but he's not at all someone that the Lakers needed. Like I said earlier, if you can get rid of a player like Kyle Kuzma, who clearly wasn't going to work in LA, and Montrezl Harrell and KCP, guys you were already going to dump, then you might as well just get Russell Westbrook out of it. But the Lakers' problem last year wasn't playmaking, it was the lack of shooting. And like I said earlier as well, Buddy Hield would have been the perfect fix, but for some reason you go and get a guy who can't do that. Now yes, I'll be giving, you know, LA a little bit of credit. They got guys like Malik Monk and Kendrick Nunn help out with the 3-point shooting, but that's not it. So with all this in the air, why am I talking about Russell Westbrook and saying that there's already a terrible move? Well, if you guys don't know, obviously we've had a couple NBA preseason games going on for a while. I believe it's been going on for about a week, actually a week exactly at the time of recording this. Now Russell Westbrook has only played in 2 of these preseason games, and shout out to StatMuse for the little graphic, but in these 2 games, right, he's played 42 minutes, which I would say is a lot. I mean, he is a starter obviously, and it is preseason. 9 assists, not bad, 15 turnovers, and has shot 4 for 19 on field goal shooting. That is such a problem. One of the problems that a lot of people were saying with Russell Westbrook was that, oh, his playmaking is good and all, but he causes a lot of turnovers. I mean, he's led in turnovers for a while now. See, this type of problem I kind of like to compare to like NFL quarterbacks, for example. Like, let's say they throw 50 passes, right, and have like 450 yards or 500 yards in the game, but in reality they have like a 2-to-1 or like a 3-to-2 touchdown to interception ratio, showing that, yeah, they're throwing the ball a lot, and yeah, they're doing all this, but in reality there's so many turnovers that are going on. But at the end of the day, if you're winning the games, then you're winning the games. The only problem is that you're not winning the games. And yes, it's preseason, and I know I keep saying that, but like, what have you guys done yet? I made my jokes about, oh, Lakers super team, like they're not actually one, the Suns blew them out, but yeah, a Suns team that doesn't have Devin Booker, that Chris Paul's playing on limited minutes, that DeAndre Ayton is playing on limited minutes, they've blew out the Lakers in both games. And mind you, one of the biggest strengths that a lot of people were talking about this Lakers team was depth, and I get it, there's a really good chance that they're not trying as much, and that they're trying to test things out, and you know, they're like working with this team, but still, I still see this Russell Westbrook thing is one of the biggest problems. And you know what? I probably am overreacting about these turnovers. I mean, they can't be that bad, right?
Watch all year. Beautifully played the shot clock. The Lakers are playing wonderful. Warriors are 1 of 8 from distance. And Curry with this. Westbrook controlling. He keeps throwing it away.
This was just in the first quarter. And that was just in his Lakers debut. He had 9 turnovers the next game versus the Phoenix Suns, which was a team that they're supposed to get over. They lost them last year. Russell Westbrook, he's going to come back to this team and we're going to beat them. Yeah, that didn't happen. In fact, Phoenix whooped them both times. So yeah, it feels really good to be a Suns fan right now. All jokes aside, this Russell Westbrook trade was already interesting in itself, and the fact that they wanted to make this when it was not something they needed was interesting in itself. But like, I know I keep repeating myself, but like at the end of the day, the Lakers didn't struggle at playmaking. They struggled at 3-point shooting, and you barely got that. Kendrick Nunn and Malik Monk are not going to be the difference of an NBA championship. But you mean Buddy Hield at shooting guard, a really good 3-point shooter? I mean, you couldn't have gotten that and maybe even try to get Russell Westbrook on top of that? I know the chances that are probably like slim to none, but you didn't even make an attempt. Even if they didn't get Russell Westbrook and they got Buddy Hield, you probably could have went with like a Rondo. You still could have re-signed Rondo, or I mean, we'll sign him in general. You could have even had like Rondo, Buddy Hield, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and if they wanted to bring like Dwight Howard back, you could have done that. Hell, even if you wanted to start like Carmelo at small forward, LeBron at power forward, and Anthony Davis at center, that would have been a really good lineup. But it's very clear to me that this chemistry that we were hyped up about, that we were being told that, oh, this Lakers team, you're down because we're old, I haven't seen shit. And it's not really more of the Lakers, because I get it, it's preseason and these guys are not trying at all. In fact, even for the first couple weeks of the actual regular season, the Lakers probably aren't gonna do shit and they're not gonna care. Yeah, they'll play average, they'll play decent, but they're not actually gonna try. But even in something as simple as preseason, which you guys would think they would at least try to dominate like one preseason game, have Westbrook and Bron go off for like a triple double. I'm just throwing random stuff out there, but the point is, you thought they would have done somewhat good, right? No, Russell Westbrook looks like the same player in Washington, and I'm not talking about the good side. I'm talking about the side that would turn over the ball constantly, that couldn't shoot the ball and couldn't even make shots. And I'm not even talking threes. Like, this man would also brick layups. Look, like I said, it's 2 games into Russell Westbrook's like Laker, I guess, debut, unless you're technically not counting preseason, which I'm definitely not. But I'm saying that in itself, it already looks like it was a bad move. Now, I'm not going to say this was entirely a bad move, because it's, like I said, it's preseason and I'm not going to try to over jump. But all I'm saying is that this could honestly be a sign of what we're going to see in LA, and this could be the Russell Westbrook that we're getting, and not that Oklahoma City MVP Russell Westbrook. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the video. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you do leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, turn on post notifications. This video is probably coming out around 12 to 2 o'clock ish, right around that time, and I will be uploading a Saquon Barkley NFL video talking about that injury. So if you guys are interested in NFL content, same channel, all this other stuff. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Have an amazing day. Take care. Peace. If you have made it to the end of the video, here are 2 videos on the screen that I think you guys will really enjoy. Anyways, cue the outro.
Figure